this entire video is just me going ow my back and failing at art, so quality content, fellas. Hello, it's Rhea. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, I hope you are enjoying yourself. Recently, I've been stopping by Daiso more and more, and I got a couple of items. For those of you who don't know, Daiso is kind of like a Japanese dollar store, but you can get a lot of really interesting items. I mostly love going there because of the stationery and stuff. So I thought I could do like a little mini haul. It's literally like 5 items or less, I think, but they're all things that I could use for art, so I figured I could tie that into drawing today. So starting out, we have these little pen trio, I guess, here. It's like, it says ballpoint pen, but honestly, I've tested them out a little bit already, and they kind of remind me of Muji pens, but either way, they seem like they're pretty great. So you might have known by now, I love friction pens, and I did indeed find some at the Daiso, although I guess that's to be expected since, again, most of the friction pens that I have now I got while I was in Japan, but normally the ones that I can find in stores over here are all just regular like friction ball pens, and my favorite ones are the Point Knox, and this is actually called the Point Synergy. This pen is kind of similar to the Point Knock, it seems, and if anything else, I just love the thin base that it has. So yeah, I'm hoping it can be pretty useful. And then of course, as always, I ended up getting another water brush because anytime I see a water brush, I just have to buy it, and I don't know what's happening to me, but I just seem to be doing that a lot, so here we go, we got another one. So I recently got these as well, although I'm pretty sure I bought them at a different time since I've been taking multiple trips to Daiso. These are just washi tapes, but I really wanted some in like a thinner range than like the typical washi tape, so yeah, hopefully these can last me for quite some time. It's just nice to have like a thinner border sometimes. I also like the fact that the packaging for this was like sunset themed, since these are like sunset colors. So these are little postcard sketch pads, I think. Not even sketch pads, they're like individual slips of paper, and since I've already taken off the packaging, you can see it's literally just like individual little slips of paper. The paper, I don't know how well you can see it because the lighting, but there's a little bit of tooth to it. I'm hoping it can take like multiple different kinds of media on it. I mean, it's what it seems to say on the cover here, but I'm gonna try like 3 different mediums to use on this. So we'll be using this one primarily. Lastly, I did purchase a little canvas that they had. It seems pretty simple. It's just, yeah, regular kind of small sized canvas. I don't know what's, I want to say like B6 or something, but I don't know. I feel like this is a cute sized canvas. I could send this to a friend, I could put it up on the wall, and it wouldn't be like too large, but I'm curious to see how this will go. So we might be doing some painting, but I'm also wondering if it would take like paint markers, like posca or something, so we'll see about that. Let's see. I'm really tempted to start with these pins first. Again, like I said, these say ballpoint pen, and I actually just made a video about ballpoint pens. Initially, I did get these because I thought they were ballpoint pens, and I just wanted some more to try out. I feel like dollar store ballpoint pens might be pretty cool, but I also got them because I really like this color trio. I mean, it's like my 3 main colors that I want to use for just about anything I can. These did also come in like a yellow, green, and orange, I believe. One more thing. This is not art related, but I absolutely adore these freaking cookies. So much so that you can probably tell I did the little checkered pattern on my nails, which my nails are like totally dying at this point, to be honest. I always end up doing them pretty nicely, and then by the time I get around to actually filming during the week, they just have completely fallen apart. But yes, I love these cookies. I mean, like, these are so freaking like perfectly sized and cute, and I am a sucker for like any snack that I can have with tea, so cookies especially. I've been on the hunt for shortbread cookies, and these are literally perfect, but $4 for 1 box is a bit much, so I'm very tempted. I need to learn how to make these. All that said, let's go ahead and get into trying out some of the stuff that I got. So starting with the pins, I just test out their strokes a little bit before I get into the sketch, And the truth is, there's actually 2 to 3 of these postcard drawings that simply aren't making it into this video because I hated them. There was a lot of struggling behind the scenes because nothing was coming out how I wanted it. And even the sketch, like, it's literally just a drawing of one of my OCs in this Pinterest outfit that I saw. I should probably cut myself some slack though, since these are all just me testing out these supplies that I got for fun. And these pins are pretty neat, but I have to apologize because I don't think I kept my receipt, and honestly whenever I was buying these items I wasn't really checking the price since not all of them have the US dollar price on display, and you have to look at that stupid conversion chart that isn't correct because it doesn't actually match Japanese yen to US dollars. So basically I can't tell you guys the exact cost of all these items sadly, but just know that they're pretty cheap compared to like typical art stores and craft stationery stores. Funnily enough though, as I'm doing this voiceover, I went to Daiso yesterday and I can tell you the price of one item that I happened to buy again while I unfortunately spent like $20 on snacks. And that item is the water brush, which I did end up getting another one of. This water brush is $1.75 and that's crazy considering like how most of these are like $5 or like $8 depending on if you get them in like a pack. And so right now I'm kind of like showing how you put it together. So after you screw off the top, you can pour water into it or you can run it under a sink like a normal person. I just used bottled water because I was lazy. But after you screw the top back on, you just give it a light little squeeze where it says to push and yeah, water comes out. You can see me testing it on the pin to see if like the pin will react to water, and it most certainly does. So I tested on the sketch that I didn't want to show you guys. So yes, water will blur the lines of these pins. But as for getting into the watercolor part, I'm using the kuretake gansai, one of those sets. It's a very common set in their collection. It has a lot of earth tones, although I do use a custom set of watercolors that I made as well for some parts. Mostly I did it for the skin a little bit, and I also did it for colors of the sky. The kuretake set has some good blues, but I was looking for more of like a cerulean. But either way, again, I'm just kind of blazing through the process of this watercolor drawing, I guess, little mini illustration. This postcard sketch paper is pretty cool. I do wish that it had a little bit more versatility for mixed media, and it probably is fairly good with it. I do feel like this brush drops off a little bit more water than most of my water brushes, so that probably wasn't helping because it was adding weight through the water on the paper. It does buckle a bit, and to be honest, I feel like it doesn't take watercolors as conveniently as I'd like it to, but overall, I mean, I feel like if you just want something non-committal and you just want to test some stuff out, it's fine. I'm also showing how much water is left in the water brush, obviously a ton because it's a little mini illustration. We're getting into the final medium that I wanted to test with this paper. Alcohol markers, of course, which I ended up using on the sketch, and honestly I feel like it took it okay. I would grade the way this paper takes mediums as like a B or a C because there's definitely room for improvement, but the pre-made postcard size and how it roughly takes different mediums than just pencil and pen, I'd say it's worth trying out. You can use it for quick sketch commissions. I even used it for that Inktober drawing that I made a short of, and that's a good example of ways to use it. Lastly, I just really wanted to point out that those pins work amazing for alcohol markers. There was no smudging at all. I was genuinely amazed because like that's kind of hard to come by sometimes. Even with fine liners they end up smudging, so to have a regular pin do that perfectly, I was like, oh, nice. But I'm about to wrap up this voiceover part because the painting session is going to be real time, and that's also why I ended up speeding up every other process because the real time footage is very long. I didn't want this video to be an hour, so we're gonna cut as much as we possibly can. So sorry if you wanted to see more, but there is always next time. But to cover some stuff that I might not mention later, this sketch is for the canvas painting, of course. It's of this girl holding taiyaki and thinking about sweets, which is definitely not a self-projection at all. But I used paint markers for this only, and it turns out pretty cute, but it's definitely patchy because I didn't have enough juice in the markers to cover everything evenly, and I also forgot to do some parts completely, like adding the star earrings on. But I will say the overall look is pretty fun, and I was also very grateful to use that arrtx marker from the set with the dual tips that I bought. I do end up outlining everything at the end, and so the nib tip was perfect for that, and it was also just a color that I was looking for, like the navy blue. Sorry to say I don't end up using the friction pin or the washi tapes in this video since it was probably a part of the scrapped drawings, but again, there's always future times to use them. But lastly, as I sketch this wheat cake, I will leave you with the full-time chaos. On terms of painting and like thumbnails and stuff, this was the original thumbnail that I used, and then I colored it just to get a feel for the swatches that I might need and all that. And that said, here are the Posca markers that I'll probably try to like primarily use. My biggest concern is skin tone wise, as it always tends to be, unfortunately. I want to believe that I can overlap these two colors and it'll get like this nice light caramel. The main issue with trying to like blend these two colors together to get that caramel is that most of the time paint markers can just simply go over the color underneath it, and oftentimes that is the case. There is some blending, but it's not always conveniently made like that. I could try to settle for this light orange color. I really do want to see if I can get a mix. Worst case scenario, I can try to use my Holbein acrylic wash. Honestly, I didn't even test how these would do on canvas, but while I'm down to use all different kinds of paint markers because I love their ability to go over like anything and pretty much make it look opaque. I do really like Posca, but I feel like those are the ones that I've used for the longest, so I'm definitely biased. The only thing about Posca is, and maybe I'm just storing my markers in an inefficient way, but like whenever I will push down, it just very easily pools like that. Because sometimes the marker juice isn't, well, I guess the paint isn't flowing well enough, so I have to, you know, push it down. But when it activates and so much comes out than you intend, it can be kind of nerve-wracking. I'm also worried that not enough paint is in these little tubes, but we'll see. If this is like dry by the time I'm done painting this background, then something isn't right. Because this is like the first time I've used this blue to like such a large extent. But you see what I mean whenever I say like Posca is like super opaque? I mean, generally most paint markers are, but sometimes you have to like go over it a lot more than you would want to get that really flat graphic opaque look. But it's doing a pretty damn good job right now. As I may have said, another medium that has this really nice flat look is acrylic gouache. Like I said, I have some Holbein acrylic gouache that I could use, and I would love to break them out, and I think I would love to use them on canvases like this in the future. That'd also be a good way to like continue learning the medium, since again I still feel like I have so much to like learn. I feel like this looks really cute as is, so I'm very nervous on how it's gonna turn out as I continue on. Okay, so for the skin, right, I'm gonna do a little test area. I'm gonna test my theory. Theoretically, right, if I place this down, and I'm guessing I wouldn't want it to dry, so, or would I want it to dry? I think, let's see. My only thing is, even if this blends, like, is that logical? Like, would that look okay? Maybe this color is good as is. Let me see. Let me test it out. It might work. I think it might work. It might work. On worst case scenario, you know, the whole benefit of using paint markers and paint in general is that you can always paint over it. Because the thing about colors is they are relative, so it really just depends on what colors something is next to. And I feel like because the background is so vibrant, it might help this really like intense peach color read off as like a tan on terms of skin tones. Another thing about paint markers is the nib will leave like a little bit of debris with it or something, and so far I haven't, like, I feel like everything's okay, but hopefully that isn't an issue. It shouldn't be since I'm using a canvas and not paper, but you never know. But yeah, best case scenario, your marker is like nice and juicy. It's just flowing really good. And of course, you can always go over stuff multiple times to get a really solid look. Ever since I was a kid, I could never like color normally, like how people have the patience to color in one motion for like long periods of time, just that same stroke all the way through. It's really hard for me to do that. If what I'm drawing is something very like shape based, then it's fine. Like if I'm drawing like a rectangle, it might be fine, but also it depends on how big it is, because if it's something small, like if it's like quarter size, then it's not that big of a deal, but if we're talking like a whole canvas, then it's gonna take different ways of coloring. And you'd think with that information, I would just kind of like at least try to color in different motions that match like the face, like shapes of the face. I also like how it doesn't seem to smear the palette color Eno underneath. Again, that's probably because this is a canvas, but it's a nice turnout because that happens to me quite often in my sketchbook. No, I'm starting to run out of juice. I think I do have another marker though that's the same color. This doesn't sound very like ASMR appealing. I don't know, maybe it does. Like in the moment right now it does, but I don't really know if it's gonna sound that way on like the playback. I just kind of wish that Posca had a nicer range of colors, if that makes sense. Which is often my take with acrylic markers. I just really want a wide range of colors. Let me get the other marker that's similar to this. Oh, this is my small one that I got from the pastel set. That's also the one that I used to paint the background. Which is odd because these colors aren't necessarily pastel, but I'm also trying to like cover the darker parts. But it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, again, all of this is just me testing out these supplies. So I just wanted to see how this canvas was gonna do, and so far I'm quite pleased. I mean, it's kind of hard for a canvas to perform poorly, huh? Okay, let us do the hair. I was kind of surprised that I ended up going with such a normal color like brown. But on the other hand, I feel like I was thinking about it today and I was like, all of my OCs have like non-normal hair colors. Like they're all like, so many of them are like pink or purple. Like I need to spice it up a bit by sticking to something normal. Hairstyle wise, I always go to this. But it's so cute! I feel like I have to have some kind of like symmetrical bun or ponytail, twin tail situation going on all the time. I don't know why. It's just so like visually appealing to me. My back, my posture was like really bad for a second there. Actually, I know this brown is a part of the main set, so let me see if I can use that one. Oh yeah, that's much better on terms of like covering wider ground. There we go, I got the dropout. Okay, cool, yeah, because that's what I wanted. Again, you have to be careful with summoning it because you don't want it to just go everywhere, but if you can get it out, then it really helps like actually cover the canvas. Also, I'm sure this random part in the middle is confusing, but like, I don't know, I feel like I would try it out. If I could like braid my bangs. The issue is I don't really, like I need to actually have my bangs be bangs and be cut to form bangs, but right now that hasn't really happened. I kind of just like poorly attempted to cut my bangs and it went horribly, and it's grown out a bit since then and I've just not touched it out of trauma. I also have no idea what time it is. I hope it's not like 8 o'clock. I can still somewhat see the sunlight, so I think we're good, but... Oh, I just noticed the face is kind of uneven. And as you can see, I'm taking a bit more of like a cell shading approach to this because that's kind of what I had in mind. But at the same time, I'm kind of trying to figure out how I can take the cell shading approach when I want to add like blush. I don't know if I want it to be like Pikachu cheeks because that can look cute, but like I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off. Another part of me is like, okay, if I do the cell shading approach, should I also go back in with like go around it, like outline it? Because that might be cool too. If I did like a navy blue outline over everything. Can I pull this off? I'm really nervous. No, I can't. I can't. I think I'll just go back. I'll just have to wait for this to dry. Like wait for the face to dry and I'll have to fix it because it's just, we're not doing that. I feel like I'm spending forever on this. Like I know it's an art piece, but like why can't I do this in 15 seconds? That's all I'm saying. I'm literally so picky with the skin for no reason. Like, we're gonna be here all day, and I really shouldn't be, because I have other stuff to do. This was supposed to just be like a cute, fun, and quick, like, oh yeah, it's just a little, like, break video where we just, like, chill and do fun, silly, like, drawings, yeah. And then I ended up putting more stress than I have in any illustration for, like, the past couple of months. Again, I keep getting so nervous when I, like, even slightly press down, because I just feel like I'm gonna break the canvas. And I would cry. You would have thought I would have jumped into the eyes by now, but here I am. I've been like fussing all day with these individual drawings and stuff. And even though this one is already like kind of a little bit janky in some places, I'm actually having fun with this one, so I'll forgive any jankiness, to be honest. I'm kind of just happy that I don't hate everything. Oh, my back! It's like literally nighttime outside. Like I looked up and my entire room was dark, and this is not the first time this has happened. This is just me working on anything. Let me go turn the light on. Oh. I was not gonna lie, I completely blanked out. I don't even know where I'm at anymore. I opened my phone for like 15 minutes and now I'm here. Okay. It's time to finish this. If I seriously need new posca markers just after this one illustration, like, I'm gonna be a little bit heated, not gonna lie. Alright, this is gonna have to be the last time that I, change out my camera battery. So we're just gonna have to, like, run through the rest because I'm not gonna continue to film any longer. Like, this is taking forever, girl. Hello? I don't know what color I want her eyes to be, but I do know. Should we just go for purple? I feel like purple might be fun. So let's start with this purple. I'm so winging this, but we're gonna do our best. I feel like that eye is a little bit bigger than the other one. Oh no. Why does this always end up happening? Like, genuinely, how do I always manage to mess up the eyes? Like, it's like my favorite thing to draw, so how could this happen? But you see how this looks so far with it? It feels very, like, poppy and, like, fun and cute. That's what I want to use acrylic gouache for. So I really hope that I can try those out. I really hope I can try out gouache in general, but I have to buy the little Himi gouache set because I still haven't bought it, but I told myself I wouldn't get it until I do at least like 10 watercolor illustrations, even if they're just something small or like a sketchbook spread. That way I use what I have before jumping on to the next thing. Are those eyebrows cute or are those awful? I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna try my best not to think about how horrible everything could look because we'll be here all day. So I hope this works for the taiyaki because this looks very similar to the girl's skin. You see what I mean? Oh no, but it might be fine. Sorry if it seems like I'm like suddenly hauling ass on this because I kind of just want to make sure that I finish this today. Or at least get it in a decent position where I can pick up tomorrow, but I'm very stubborn at the idea of working on something for multiple days. So I took a very short break earlier today when I realized it was like 4 p.m. and I hadn't ate anything. But since then, I've just been like grinding away at art, and it's already like 8 p.m. So I'm just like, dang. Because normally around this time, I try to like settle down for the day and like usually try to like play a game or so. And then like get dinner and find something to watch while I eat. But right now I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. And not to say that I want to rush, like I am having fun with this piece, but this was supposed to just be like a cute, fun test. It's not something that I wanted to put too much work in. So I don't want this to like go over multiple days. Even though that's perfectly fine and I probably should. I don't know what color I want her outfit to be, and it's stressing me out. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Yo, speaking of, I meant to rewatch Sonic X because I used to watch that show as a kid. So I wonder how it's aged. Probably horribly, because 4Kids was very questionable. But it's kind of nostalgic, you know, like in an awful way. It's like, do y'all remember Garbage? I sure do. What a great time. I really am just winging this, so if this turns out horrible, it's been real, guys. You know, like, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching me fall apart, I guess. Purple. In case you guys didn't know, purple is my favorite color. Let's see if this orange would look nice. The orange might be a weird color to go with, but like, if I was committed enough, I would have whipped out the Holbein acrylic wash by now, but I don't want to do it because I want to save it for like another video or something. Like I want to, I don't know, I feel like this is like my biggest setback or something. I can't simply like use a supply that I haven't introduced on the channel before. Like I feel bad if I just randomly whip out something that I didn't take time to unbox and show you guys, and I don't know why I'm like that. It kind of ends up becoming a pain because I end up with a lot of stuff left over that I haven't opened yet because I want to save it for a future video and I never get around to it, and it's just like, what is she doing? But I do believe I will end up using the acrylic wash soon for a video, so the paint markers are doing a lot better than I would have guessed, to be honest. Like, considering these are just paint markers, it's nice that they can work on the canvas like this. Even though I know people advertise like paint markers to go on everything, sometimes it's like it sounds better in theory, so it's nice that this is actually working out. Even though there's a lot of it that's a little bit janky. That's mostly because of my application and the fact that these markers are like, a lot of them are kind of like running out. I also kind of want to start blending the markers, but I know I shouldn't. If I haven't talked about it by now, this fish is taiyaki. It's like this Japanese sweet where it's like this fish bread that has a sweet filling inside of it. I want to say fish bread, it's like actual bread, just shaped like a fish. It is kind of weird if you don't know what it is, because it's kind of like, what is this random fish that this person is holding? Now, one thing I have noticed a little bit is that there seems to be like some crackling on the paint, and that might just be a posca thing. It's kind of interesting because I've never really seen that happen before, but it's like there's some areas that are crackled a bit. They have cracks in them. I'm so sorry that this is looking so janky in some places. You guys probably can't even tell necessarily, but like I can, and it's hurting my feelings. I'm gonna mix these two colors up just a bit if I can get away with it. I don't know if this is making sense at all. I have yet to figure out how I would like to approach eyes, but that might be too dark unless I want to leave one of them like that and the other one isn't. Actually, yeah, I like the lighter one. I should have waited for it to dry. I'm a clown. I find it kind of hard to like leave one section alone and come back later and work on something else that's more convenient or practical to work on. I'm just like, I want to work on this now. Oh, why am I so dehydrated? Okay, this is my last Nintendo playlist that I'm on, so again, I better finish this like now. I mean, the little shapes at the end are pretty simple, but I still have to do the items, so there's that. I mean, it's just ice cream, the little checkerboard cookie, and then the hanami dango and the loaf cake thing. I feel like the loaf cake is the hardest because I don't think it's gonna look like an actual loaf cake. It looks more like a biscuit. Is it weird to leave the hair like that? Like, logically, I feel like it makes sense. Because, like, the hair is parted, right? Like, that makes sense. But what if that looks weird? I don't know. Now is not the time to be second guessing when I'm trying to finish this up, but my brain is like literally giving up on me as I speak. Like, it's just not having it. My brain is like, okay girl, that's enough yapping. When are we gonna watch more Attack on Titan? I just started season 3 and I just feel like we're really in for it. I don't know. We've been in for it this entire time, but oh my gosh. Also, if you're wondering what that is, that's a little paper that the item is in. Again, we're wrapping our items in paper. We can't just be raw dogging everything, you know? Well, if nothing else, this last part has been very fun, so I don't know. I might just speed everything else up and keep this like real time. I would love to do my nails this checkerboard again, but I need to like do it better because this first time around, it was my first time doing it, so it turned out kind of like lame looking. I mean, it's okay, but it's not perfect, so that bothers me. I think I'll try to paint my nails brown again, because I do really like this brown, and I feel like not a lot of nail polish comes in the color brown, is what I noticed. Bro, my hands are jacked up from this painting, oh my gosh. But yeah, no, I'd like to like repaint them again, but maybe instead of this like light brown color, use a light blue, because I guess it kind of reminded me of like mint chocolate, which I am not a fan of at all, but aesthetic wise, like the colors, that's really cute. I think mint and brown look nice. This entire video is just me going ow my back and failing at art, so quality content, fellas. We're almost done, guys. We almost made it, okay? And who knows, honestly, after I finish this for like the sake of the video, I might touch it up outside of it and sell it? I don't know. For some reason, because I paint something on a canvas, it feels like it should be sold. I don't know why. It just, if somebody would want to have it, maybe. Oh, I didn't do the ice cream. Girl, the ice cream. Ah! Okay, I really want to make this like a matcha or something, but that would just be so out of place. Like if I did like a little matcha dip, that would be out of place. We can do a chocolate dip. That would make sense, right? Like, you know how the cones are dipped? I'm not crazy, right? Like, that's a thing. When the end of the cone, like the opening of the cone has been dipped in, like, chocolate or something. And then the ice cream cone itself. Do you guys want to guess what it's gonna be? You want to guess what it's gonna be? You know what flavor it's gonna be? You want to go ahead and guess? You want to guess? You can guess. It's okay. I'll wait. Did you guess? Okay, good. It's strawberry! Let's go! Okay. Now, I could do like the little swirl, because I kind of wanted to do like strawberries and cream maybe. So I could leave it white like that, but what I'm thinking of is doing a, like the hot pink as like a darker strawberry jam, I guess? I don't know. This ice cream looks so freaking good. Oh, I need to wait for it to dry. Dang it. I need to do her little candy bow here. Oh, I didn't do the freaking- oh my god, guys, I'm going insane. Like, this is it, this is the end. So it would have made sense to add, the green over here, but that's okay. We can do matcha another time. I guess it's like, this could be raspberry. So strawberry, raspberry, it could be cherry. What's your guys' favorite out of the three? Actually, there's not just three, huh? There's probably more, right? Because there's strawberry, raspberry, cherry, and what's the other one? You ever get the fear after you work on something for like a good amount of time that it's actually all just horrible and you should just give up on everything? Because honestly, sorry, there's not much else to say. I'm kind of just spiraling through. Now imagine how much easier all this would be if I was doing it digitally. That's not the point of traditional art. A lot of what I have to do at this point is just touch-ups. But of course that in itself can take 5 million years. Also, I put Ame on her shirt because, candy, I guess? Like, so this is where I am currently at. I still need to decide on whether or not I want to outline everything in like a blue or something. Aside from that, I need to go lay down or something since it's the evening. I should really take a break. So I am going to return tomorrow, probably with this finished, and I will close out the video, hopefully. So without further ado, quirky transition. More or less, here's how everything turned out. I had a lot of fun with these, even though it was kind of stressful because art wasn't coming out how I wanted it to. While I feel like these two could have came out a lot better, I am quite psyched about this little canvas painting, considering that I was kind of just testing all these supplies out. I think I had a lot more fun than I expected with this one, and it kind of became like the silver lining of everything. To sum everything up, I think it's great to pick up a new item for sketching or even just stationary items, and Daiso is pretty good at that. By the way, none of this is like sponsored or anything. I don't even know if you guys have a Daiso where you're at, but I think these sketch pads would be, again, great to use for like sending sketches or like cute little drawings to friends in the mail. These ballpoint pens, while they're not the typical ballpoint pens that I'm used to, I will say writing and sketching with them especially is pretty great. They remind me a lot of Muji pens, which I love. I love the colors that they come in, and I think that they would be great for like on-the-go sketching as well. As for this water brush, I will definitely be using it. I think that it activates water really nicely, a little bit more intense than some of the other ones that I have, but it's definitely going to be useful in my little collection that I've been building. Friction pens are always great for me personally. I just really enjoy using them. So I love the thinness of the barrel and the point. It's very nice to use. So even though it's not technically my favorite point Nox, I definitely think I'll be using this a lot more than the usual friction pens that I use. This canvas, I think, I don't normally paint on canvases, but considering that this is just a simple canvas that I got from the dollar store, I think it turned out amazing. I just think it's very like storageable. It's portable, you know, you can send it in the mail to someone, you can hang it up on your wall without it taking up too much space. I don't know, and it's just, it performed pretty well. But other than that, that's all for me today. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed your time here today, you can let me know by leaving a like. If you're interested to see more of my content, you can always check out my other videos and subscribe. For reference, if you're new, I am Rhea or Etheria, and I like making art and art-related content on my channel. I do try to post weekly videos, but if you would like more timely updates, you can probably just follow me here and see if you can catch a short or something. But until next time, once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I wish you a nice rest of your day and or week. Take care.